Hey sports card fans, it's John, Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. Now that my channel has reached 2,000 subscribers, I thought it was time to do another giveaway. Now this giveaway is going to be in the form of a video response, and I'll explain why this is going to be only open to those who create content on YouTube and not those who just comment on my channel. I do want to say that I appreciate all of you out there who may not create content but watch my videos, subscribe to my channel, comment on my videos. I really do appreciate you. I'm happy that you enjoy my videos enough to leave a comment, and I've really enjoyed interacting with you through those comments. But for this particular contest, I want to have it only for those who create content on YouTube, because this contest here isn't I don't want it to be just a celebration of my channel reaching 2,000 subscribers. I want this contest to reflect sort of your celebration of creating content on YouTube and what that has meant to your enjoyment in the hobby. So these video responses, I want you to put a video together, and I'm leaving it wide open to whatever you want to talk about or show, but how being a YouTube content creator, making videos about your sports card collection, about the hobby, whatever topics that you talk about on your channel, how that has increased your enjoyment within the hobby. I think it's universal that, at least from the people that I have talked to that create content on YouTube, just this overall experience has been amazing in terms of people's increased enjoyment of collecting sports cards. And so you can talk about maybe because of creating content on YouTube, you've made some lifelong friends, and maybe you can talk about those friends, what maybe you've met and things like that. Maybe by creating content on YouTube and interacting with other YouTubers, maybe that has resulted in you picking up certain specific cards for your collection. Maybe there's some other aspects of creating content. Maybe it's just an avenue to show off your cards. So again, however you want to explain or show or demonstrate how creating content on YouTube has increased your enjoyment of the hobby, that's free for you to do. All right, so let's go over the specific rules of the contest, and I will have these in the description of the video, and then I'm going to talk about my experience on being on YouTube here. But the first thing is, I would like you to like this video. The first thing is, you must be a subscriber to the channel. Now, I mentioned the only entries that will be counted are video responses. However, if you do not create content but want to post a comment on how just interacting with people's channels through comments has increased your enjoyment of the hobby, feel free to do so, but it won't result in an entry for this specific contest. But I would love to hear from you about how you interact with my channel, other channels, and how that has increased your, again, enjoyment of this hobby. But I am looking for this specific contest for video responses only. The deadline to post a video will be midnight Eastern Standard Time on Friday, May 31st. So you have nearly a month to put a video together and post it. I would really appreciate it if you could either tag me in the video or use the hashtag WBF for Wade Boggs fan, WBF2K. That way I can either search for that hashtag, or I get notified if you tag me in the video. You can also leave a comment in this video letting me know that you have posted, not that you will, but you have posted your video. I'm looking for ways that I can easily find the videos that are going to be part of the contest and not miss any entries. So whatever you can do to grab my attention to say that you have posted a video for this contest would be greatly appreciated, because again, I don't want to miss anyone. Now for the prizes, I'm going to have 4 prizes for this giveaway. 3 of them are going to be $25 eBay gift cards, and the fourth card, or the fourth prize, is a card. If you've seen one of my recent 100 cards for $10,000 list, you'll notice that I picked up this 1976 Topps Jim Palmer in a PSA 8. Well, what I failed to realize is that when I put my list together, that I already had the 76 Topps Jim Palmer in a PSA 7. So I'm going to keep this PSA 8, and I'm going to be giving away this PSA 7. In a PSA 7, this card is worth maybe around 25 bucks. So it's about the same value as a $25 eBay gift card. So the way it'll work is the first name that I pick will have their choice of an $25 eBay gift card or the 76 Topps Jim Palmer. If they choose the Jim Palmer, then the remaining 3 people that I pick will get the gift cards. If the first person picks an eBay gift card, then the second person will have their choice of the remaining prizes, and so on. So there's an opportunity for any of the 4 people that I pick through the random wheel. We'll get a chance to either own that Jim Palmer card or a $25 eBay gift card. And finally, I do want to officially mention that this giveaway is not associated at all with YouTube or eBay. So now that I got that out of the way, I want to just briefly talk about my experience on YouTube. Now, I've mentioned this occasionally on other videos, but I just want to mention it again, because again, this is a sort of a celebration, yes, of my channel, but I want it to be just as much of a celebration of your channels as well. Before I got on YouTube, I had been sort of a one-trick pony, collecting Wade Boggs cards, and I was in my little bubble. I did have other cards in my collection, but my main collection was focused on Wade Boggs cards. And yes, I did have some interactions, mainly through text messages, occasional phone call with some other Wade Boggs collectors, mainly Rich Davis, who I have become really good friends with. We met outside of YouTube. In fact, he came in from Chicago all the way into Pennsylvania to be one of my groomsmen in my wedding. We went up to Boston to catch a Red Sox game when the Red Sox were retiring Wade Boggs' number. We met up a couple times at some of the Chicago Nationals, so a really good friend of mine. But prior to YouTube, that was my life, collecting Wade Boggs cards by myself, not really showing them off to anyone other than an occasional text message to one of the other Boggs collectors of a recent pickup or something like that. Pretty much isolated in terms of my hobby. Then the pandemic hit and found myself at home most of the time, working from home. And a few months prior to that, discovered all these sports card related channels on eBay. And since I had all this sort of not totally free time at home, but was stuck at home, I said, hey, I think I can do that. And maybe this will be a way to show off my collection to people that may be interested out there. Because my son was interested for maybe a couple years when he was in Little League in baseball cards. I bought him some cards and he liked looking through my cards, but that didn't last very long. And now he's graduating college, so he has a lot of other things on his mind than baseball cards. So yeah, so I thought I started doing videos just as a way to show off my Wade Boggs cards. But it didn't end there. So one of the benefits to me for creating content on YouTube was not only watching other YouTube channels, but interacting with other content creators, having some of them on my show. They invited me on their show or their channels for videos. And that just gave, I started having sort of hobby friends that I could, again, reach out to and interact with. And again, creating videos for me, I've always enjoyed creating videos as a way to talk about baseball cards, show off some of my cards in my collection, talk about other cards that I may not have in my collection, but various types of videos. So the main thing for me is just the interaction with other YouTube content creators. The National becoming a big collection, a gathering of YouTube content creators. Strongsville recently in Ohio, I think, is going to become another sort of regional YouTube get together. And it's gone way beyond cards. For me, going to the National and probably future Strongsville shows is not about going there and picking up specific cards. It's getting to meet up again in person with so many people that I consider friends. I never really had a whole lot of close friends in my life, but I've made some pretty close friendships through YouTube. I'll mention a couple, but there's many more that I consider friends on YouTube. But Mike Baseball Collector, Eric Four Leaf Cards, Dawn's Field of Dreams cards, just to name a few. And there's many others on this list that I've really gotten to know over the last 4 years by being on YouTube. But it doesn't end there for me. So the friendships are great and amazing. The ability to do a video and show off some of my cards is a great outlet for me. But being on YouTube has also enabled me to expand and build upon my collection to where I'm no longer a one-trick pony, only collecting Wade Boggs cards and that's it. Seeing some of the videos early on, interacting with Mike Baseball Collector, John Mangini, and some of the others out there that are into vintage baseball cards, just rekindled the interest that I had in vintage cards, even while I was collecting all these Wade Boggs cards. I always loved vintage cards, but never really did anything about it. Well, that being on YouTube just lit that spark. You just ignited that spark to now where the majority of my card purchases are vintage cards. And I just brought out a couple copies here to show off of cards that, and I can't remember whose videos they were, but I remember watching their videos and seeing them show off these two particular cards here and saying, man, I need to have that card in my collection. It is beautiful. And I managed to do that. And the first one is the 1952 Topps Bob Feller. Again, I forget which YouTuber showed it off. There have been, I think, several YouTubers have this card, so I forget which one it was, but they showed a recent pickup of this card, and I just fell in love with it. And it wasn't too much longer, I don't know, maybe a few months afterwards, I found this copy on eBay. In fact, again, this whole thing about connections on YouTube, Eric Four Leaf was in my area for work, and he was actually at my house at the time when this auction was ending on eBay. So he saw me watching it on my phone, placing that bid and winning this card. So Eric was right with me when I won this card on eBay. So again, another, I'll always remember this card not only for just being inspired to add it to my collection from YouTube, but being there with Eric as I won this card on eBay. And the second card that I want to show off, and again, for your videos, don't feel obliged to show off any cards. If it works within what you want to talk about, go right ahead. But the second one is this 1950 Bowman Yogi Berra. Again, such a beautiful card, and I don't think this was anywhere on my radar. There's so many vintage cards. You know, you just sort of get lost of what's out there, unless you're specifically targeting a couple cards. And I saw one YouTuber show this card off. It may have already been in their collection or maybe a recent pickup. And I just, either I had forgotten about the card, forgot about the image or something. And when I saw this card, I'm like, I have to add that Yogi Berra card to my collection. Again, these are PSA 2s. It wasn't about the grade. But I just wanted to have those cards in my collection through the interaction of YouTube. So it's, for me, it's the friendships. It's the ability for me to do these videos and show off my recent pickups or cards in my collection, or top 10 lists that I really enjoy doing on some of these cards that sell or most valuable or whatever. It gives me an ability to do some research for some of the sets, some of the cards, so to just give me a little bit more knowledge of vintage, because even though I liked vintage for the longest time, my knowledge was Wade Boggs based, and what cards on this set and whatever, but didn't have as much knowledge of vintage sets. And it's still building, and it's because of you out there creating your content that has enabled me to learn more about vintage baseball cards. I still have a lot to learn about pre-war, and hopefully over the years here I'll learn a little bit more and more about pre-war cards as well, and hopefully add some of those to my collection. So that's it for my experience on YouTube. And so I hope those of you who create content will enter this giveaway, even if it's not for the prizes, but just to talk about your channel and your experience on YouTube, and how being a content creator, maybe meeting up at the National or Strongsville or other shows. I know there have been sometimes some of the guys down in Florida get together and go to a card show. So there's even smaller pockets out there where even a small handful of YouTubers have gotten together, and it's because we have been creating content together on YouTube. So again, I hope I get a lot of entries into this contest. And finally, again, one last time, I want to thank all of you for subscribing to my channel, for liking my videos, for commenting on my videos. It's nice to get that feedback, that the content that I put out there, it may not be for everyone, but for some of you, that you seem to enjoy the videos that I make, and that's a nice feeling to know that that positive feedback, and it keeps me going and wanting to create more videos. So with that, again, one final big thank you to everyone, and with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.